but as widely expected, it will be excruciatingly close as there have been neck-and-neck races and hotly contested areas in a number of electorates in this country. Now, the exit polls, but of course they are exit polls. The final call will be made after all the votes have been counted. But by about 10 p.m. Korea time, we're expecting to see the results take a more concrete form. Now, joining us live in the studio to help us get a better grip of this is Dr. Se-ryun, Professor of Law at Kyung Hee University. Professor Song, welcome to the program.
Good to be here.
Now, so we have been getting reports of early exit polls. There are reports of numbers vary, of course, but reports of the ruling Saenuri Party gaining roughly 120 to 130 seats, and the main opposition, the Minju Party of Korea, roughly 100 seats, and the minor opposition People's Party, somewhere along the lines of 40. Now, I think that is in line with what expectation, anticipation, and predictions that were made before Election Day.
Right. But I think the expectation was that the Saenuri will get higher numbers because of the splintered opposition party, and Kim Jong-un coming into the Minju Party did change a little bit, but in a lot of people's assessment, whether it will be effective and whether there will be a further reform after this election is over, that was extremely murky. So I think Saenuri would be extremely disappointed if it didn't get 150, and if 120 and 130 turns out to be the final number, I think they will be very disappointed.
Right. As of now, as for early exit polls, the highest number that Saenuri could have gotten, according to the early exit polls, is 143. So I'm thinking, and you're thinking that Saenuri Party will be disappointed as of now.
Right, because that means that they cannot push forward any legislation. They needed 180 votes or the seats to push towards some of the measures because of the advancement of National Assembly law that was in effect. So even if they can collaborate with other parties, if they cannot get to a significant majority or close to 170 or 80, probably we might be seeing the repeat of the vegetable National Assembly or the dysfunctional National Assembly that we have seen so far.
Right, so 3/5 of the National Assembly seats, that's 180 that you were talking about, and those are the seats needed to introduce and pass bills in Parliament, and that is what the ruling Saenuri Party had wanted, but right now we were seeing a range of 121 to 143 as for the ruling party. As for the major opposition, the range of early exit polls is 101 to 123, so 101 and 123. How does that work for the major opposition?
For the Minju Party,
that
is a great success for them, because they were expecting they will not get even the 100 votes because of the kind of things that they've gone through internally, fractions, and also the People's Party splintered away.
Right, and as you can see in the live feed, we are seeing some excitement and a lot of applause at the Minju Party of Korea. That is quite contrary to what the ruling Saenuri Party looked like before. They were a little bit more reserved and cautious in making sense out of the early exit polls. The Minju Party of Korea looking very excited.
Right, they have every reason to celebrate at this point, because it was very grim. Even before the election started, and when the An Chul-soo and the People's Party splintered away, that seemed like a death knell for them. But they're coming back and be in the same position or better in terms of number of votes. So there is a concern that the vegetable or the National Assembly dysfunctionality might continue, but in terms of opposition party, this is a good day for them.
Well, and the newly minted minor opposition party, People's Party. Now, the early exit polls ranged for 34 to 41 seats.
That means they have done very well in the Honam area and elsewhere as well. That is more than a lot of people have expected. So I think it reflects people's general wish that something in the political arena will change with a fresh blood and fresh voice coming into arena.
But looking at the live feed from the People's Party headquarters, either they are very reserved, cautious group of people, or they don't look too excited or happy about the results.
It certainly seems that way. This is not the final number, so they're probably very cautious about showing their emotions at this point.
Right. I mean, these are only polling information, of course,
right.
And things can change come 10 p.m. midnight when the count
right.
has been
Maybe
done.
we should point out that the exit polls have been traditionally very, very varied in terms of accuracy. So this year, I hope that this is a more accurate number than the years past.
Right. As for the voter turnout, that's also been released. We have a little bit over 53.5%. Now, going into the race, anticipation was running high that more Koreans will head to the polls this time around because we had a wider window of getting to vote.
Right.
Now, how will that turnout rate impact the election results?
Well, I think this is a disappointing number in terms of participation because, as you pointed out, we have more days to vote. So it should have been towards about 60%. But this lower number probably reflects the fatigue that people feels about the general political functioning in Korea. But traditionally, they would have said that the higher number would benefit the opposition party and the lower number would benefit the Conservative Party because Conservative Party has kind of bedrock, a very solid voting bloc in the aged sector. But this time around, probably the calculation will not be probably applicable because we have a three-party kind of race.
Right. So do stay put, Professor Song. I will come back to you. But first, let's now get a look into the early exit polling information that we have been receiving from the three parties. And now, as expected, we are quoting YTN and sourced by KBS, 121 to 143 seats for the ruling Saenuri Party, 101 to 123 seats for the Minju Party of Korea, and 34 to 41 for the minor opposition. Let's